Yeah, okay. Here we are again. This is Gjøndar again. And I don't know if you can see the difference in me, but I've adjusted my stirrups at least 2 holes longer than I usually do. Because last time when I rode the Donis last time, you could see that my stirrups suddenly looked like ridiculously short. And then there was the same length that I have had to have for a long time because I've been so short in all my hip flexors, and yeah, very stiff in my quads and very stiff in my calf muscles. And lately I have been able to untangle those. And especially when I was able to do my quads, it was easier to walk and much easier to stretch my legs downwards and backwards when I'm riding. And you know, the quadriceps, the big muscle on the front of the thigh with the 4 attachments. It's a very powerful muscle, but it's not actually the main use of that muscle is not to run or carry or do anything heavy like energy wise. It's a stabilizing muscle. You're supposed to do the jumping and the running with the muscles on the backside. And I haven't been doing that. I've been trying to do it with the quads and my calf muscles. And those were overworked and stiff and very hard. And we have been trying all kinds of exercises and treatment to let them soften up, but it has not worked. But that untangling finally worked. And I think it is because so many other places in my body has sort of straightened up, and then there is a cascade effect. So suddenly it was possible to let go of this. And you know, the quads are responsible for straightening out the knee and closing the hip joint. So that means that when that is too short, it's impossible to stretch the thigh backwards like this, and it's impossible to close the knee and hold your lower leg close to the horse while the hip joint is open. So that is why I'm struggling with now. It's really, really difficult, but now it's possible. I just have to concentrate. So I was thinking I'm going to do three things at the same time now. I'm going to prepare Gjøndar for Turen afterwards. She's going to do some canter work with him just to practice her cantering. We're not going to video that, but then I'm warming up this guy, and I'm trying to stretch my thighs. And then what I'm doing, then I'm letting him push my bum forwards, but I'm also concentrating on that movement should move my hip joint here. And it's working because it's quite painful in that area. And also, when Gjøndar is this long in his outline, it's difficult to reach the place where my legs are supposed to be, because he's actually responding to that. I was almost reaching it, but he responded, "That's good boy. Huh? Do you like that?" Yeah, no, we're not supposed to run. We're not going to trot at all, I think, because that's too much for us now. And I guess our viewers are the patient ones, and you guys are nerds like us, so you want to look at all the nitty-gritty details that makes you a better rider. So what I am going to do now while I'm doing this, I'm going to show you something about the inside rein out inside leg, outside rein. You know, the mantra that everyone is talking about. And it is a very powerful tool to get the horse when you're riding on one. Now I'm riding on the left diagonal because I'm going to the left, so the right is the outside. And when I do that, I can get the horse to carry more from the inside hind leg if I am able to engage the diagonal that goes from this hind leg to this outside outside of the neck. So from the inside leg to the outside rein. And it's much easier to understand this when you're riding on a circle. You do it when you're riding on the straight line going big in the arena, but then it's more difficult to understand. So what I do with my students is that I ask them to ride inwards, just like in a spiral on the circle, and then you keep the horse bent, and then you ride outwards. And he is not quite willing to do that, but I need to just persuade him. So he goes, because I can't make him go sideways without using the outside rein. He's stabilizing the horse with the outside rein. Both reins need to be used. There he was. And then if you practice doing that, you will push the horse to the outside rein from the inside leg. And then you can sort of let go a little of that inside rein, and you feel that the horse is sort of stretching towards the outside rein and taking the contact in the other end. You should not pull. Many people have learned to pull at the outside rein so that the horse is like struggling against the outside rein, but you want to let the horse stretch to the outside rein. And now he's more or less to both reins. So I need to, in order to get him more to the outside rein, I need to engage him with that inside leg, and now he's to the outside rein. And there are other ways to learn this. You can, for instance, do a leg yield. I'm going to do, if you could stand here, Torunn, I will go down there and I can go towards you. So now I'm going to try to do the leg yield. And I'm going to go down there, and I'm going to do a leg yield towards Torunn. And in the leg yield, many people, beginners, were trying to do the leg yield. They are trying to press the horse to the side with the leg, and that doesn't work. You need to ride the horse from that inside leg to the outside rein. You can see that I'm holding a steady outside rein. I'm sitting on the inside. It's a little difficult for me because this is the first time we're doing it today. I'm going to go towards you again, Torunn, from this side. But the whole thing about the leg yield is that you have to keep steady on the outside rein. Now I just need to be a little over, use big signs and big aids, because he's a little wobbly and unwilling. But you see that the outside rein needs to be steady, or else he will just bend his neck and perhaps just walk straight with his neck bent. Now he's easier. Now he was like responding more to my inside the seat bone. So position the horse to the inside and keep the horse steady with the outside rein. And then I'm not pushing the horse to the side with my leg. I'm asking him to engage more in his hind leg on that side, and then he will push himself to the side with the energy from the hind leg. So now you can see that I can let go of that inside rein while I'm riding straight forwards. So now he's from the inside leg to the outside rein, and then I have to bend him in the corner with just turning my upper body, and then he's quite nicely to the outside rein again. And while I'm doing all this, my legs are stretching more down, and perhaps one day I will be able to have like long legs with my heels down and without ending up on my crotch in the saddle. All those things at the same time, and being straight and rising up with my upper body. Let's see if I can do all those things at the same time. Yeah, and you can see when I'm reaching down to that place on his body where his belly is at the thickest, then he really engages from that leg aid to the outside rein. That is nice. I'm really happy with you, Gjøndar. You're a really good boy. Yeah, good boy. So then, I'm happy with this. And then let's see you guys tomorrow, and I will let Torunn ride him a little. Goodbye.